driving. Hope comes and stops us in our tracks. Bravely we prove in our striving, trudging together each day. Where there's a will, there's a way.
Afternoon, everyone. All right, sorry, I was chewing on some ice. Love chewing on ice. I have to have ice around. I use it to help with my anxiety. Yeah, seems to work pretty well. So I give this a little bit. Ooh, they made it easier to invite guests. Cool. Not necessarily anticipating anybody, especially today. I'm gonna grab a fan. All right. So it is Thanksgiving. Man. Boy, good afternoon, Chris. I'm getting there, I promise, guys. As such, AA ought never be organized, and neither is Dion. So, being a good AA member, I'm never quite organized. Maybe I ought to clean my area up. So, happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Hope everybody's having a good day. Hi, Dion Screw. Douglas Sandra, welcome on Instagram. Yeah, most of the readings today are, about gratitude. We talk about gratitude a lot. So I like to change it up. One of the things today, though, was I went to go look at my memories. And I thought I started doing this in April for some reason. When I started doing the daily reflections, it turns out that I started it the day after Thanksgiving. So I've been doing the daily reflections for 3 years straight. That means that this will be my 1095th day in a row going live to do the daily reflections. Have I missed a few days? Yeah, I've missed a few days. But then there's those days like yesterday where I put out 2, so I'm more than made up for it. When I think on it, I've got thousands of videos. I don't know where they're all at, but I got them. So, all right, let's get going on this. And I'm just going to read from Daily Reflections. I don't really have any epiphanies going on or anything. Oh, I forgot to do the Chris is ahead of me on that. I forgot to do the if you are here, please say hello. I'm sure everybody will show up at about the 10-minute mark. So, morning, Gary, or good afternoon. So, all right, let's get started on this. Entering a new dimension. In the late stages of our drinking, the will to resist has fled. Yet when we admit complete defeat and when we have become entirely ready to try AA principles, our obsession leaves us and we enter a new dimension. Freedom under God as we understand him. And that's what it means to be rocketed into the 4th dimension. It means that we have been alleviated of the obsession of our addiction. Okay? Well, what happens with that? It frees up your mind. So instead of being obsessed all day about one thing, you are actually starting to interact with life and do other things because it was taking up 80% of your time, a good chunk of your time. You know, I mean, I couldn't even enjoy time with friends. Like if, let's say, me and 4 friends got together, all right, there's 5 of us. We buy a 6-pack. I am not going to be in that conversation. And I'll tell you what, I'll be there, right? But my mind will be on who's getting the second beer. That's where my mind's going. Now, take that same situation, but I'm not drinking. I'm probably going to be involved in that conversation now because I'm not being distracted by my obsession. Hi, Jill. Good to see you. Happy Thanksgiving, honey. I don't know if you heard, but I figured out that today is actually the 3-year anniversary for the Daily Reflections. So it's a big deal to me. So, been through a lot in those 3 years. So, and that's out of As Bill Sees It. Oh, my stupid cats. They're always pushing stuff around. So, As Bill Sees It, I think it was page 263 to 83. Powerless over alcohol. I had gone steadily downhill on that day in 1934. I lay upstairs in the hospital, knowing that for the first time I was utterly hopeless. Lois was downstairs, and Dr. Silkworth was trying in his gentle way to tell her what was wrong with me and that I was hopeless. But Bill has a tremendous amount of willpower, she said. He has tried desperately to get well. We've tried everything, doctor. Why can't he stop? He explained that my drinking, once a habit, had become an obsession, a true insanity that condemned me to drink against my will. In the late stages of our drinking, I'll read it again. In the late stages of our drinking, the will to resist has fled. Yet when we admit complete defeat and when we become entirely ready to try AA's principle, our obsession leaves us and we enter a new dimension. So we're going to need to admit complete defeat, and we're going to have to become entirely ready before that's going to happen. Okay? You're not going to get this. You're not going to be rocketed in through the 4th dimension by osmosis. It's going to take some time, and it's going to take some effort on your side. It's going to take some willingness. It's going to take some honesty, and let's put in a dash of open-mindedness. Okay? We're working on becoming a different person. And that means that we're going to need to follow directions that sometimes we might feel is silly or below us. Okay? But I tell you, it's not. It is not below you. You're not better than anyone else, right? So, therefore, follow the path. Rarely have we seen a person fail who has thoroughly followed our path. Does that sound like a suggestion to you? No, that's kind of a, it's kind of a you do it or you don't, kind of a thing. I am fortunate to be among the ones who have had this awesome transformation in my life. When I entered the doors of AA, alone and desperate, I had been beaten into willingness to believe anything I heard. One of the things I heard was, this could be your last hangover, or you can keep going round and round. The man who said this obviously was a whole lot better off than I. Is he really, though? I like the idea of admitting defeat, and I have been free ever since. The thing is, we have it backwards from the way that we've been taught. Thank you, Robin. Happy Thanksgiving to you too. I appreciate that, and you are most certainly welcome. I need to hear that every now and again. It's nice to hear. So I like the idea of admitting defeat. So all my life I was told you got to fight for what you want. You got to fight. right? Fight for it. You got to do it. Anything we're able to fight for, you got to work hard. You got to do it the right way the first time. Be a man. Throw some balls. These are all ways that I was taught. So, see, for me to admit complete defeat goes against the concept of what the world thinks a man should be. That makes it even harder to do. I tell people all the time, you want to watch me clear a room? I'll share my feelings. Let a man share his feelings and watch what happens. We all need areas in arenas where we can speak our truth without worrying about stigma from some asshole or something, right? Or even from the people in our own group. I've had some podcasts where they come back, they're like, you spent too much time on it. Screw you. It's my podcast. Don't fuck with my guests. And the one that I'm thinking of, she had waited for her husband, not at the time, but he didn't have a year yet. So she waited like 4 months for him to get through the steps and do that. I found a lot of respect for that. That means that this person was putting God and that person's program before their own needs. Yes. Sorry, I'm reading the stuff up top. I'm grateful for the fact that I get to do this, that I'm in this situation. This all started. I'm gonna hold on to that thought. Let's finish this. My heart heard what my mind never could. Being powerless over alcohol is no big deal. I'm free and I'm grateful. It really is no big deal. It is as big of a deal as we decide to make it. But let's remember something here, though, right? We're letting go of something that we have loved all of our lives. This was our best friend, our confidant, our lover. So you're going to experience death when you get into the program. It's not going to be an overwhelming like your mother died, best friend died, something like that. But you are going to go through the events of death, through the stages of it. That's why you feel sad. That's why you are depressed. You just lost your best friend. So the reason that this all started was because of my PTSD. I needed an outlet in order to come on and talk to people about what was going on with me. So if you go back to the very beginning of them, and maybe I'll see if I can do some searching. Some of those, I was standing in front of the hospital in the middle of an anxiety attack, getting ready to go in to the ER. So in the beginning, it was to let people know that you are not alone. There are other people out there, because it was hard for me to go out and speak my truth. The AA meetings and those types of meetings don't really like it when I come in and say, I understand all that, but what about my anxiety, my depression? And they're like, we just don't deal with that. The answers are in the big book. It tells you to seek out therapy. It tells you to talk to doctors. It tells you to see where religious people are right. And if you have more than 6 months and you still feel like you're coming out of yourself, out of your skin, it's probably time to get into therapy. There is no reason for you to continuously have to feel that way. I'm sorry, but you do not. We have already been through enough. And I hate, no, I don't hate to say it. Enough is enough, man. Enough is enough. There is no point on continuing to put more shit on you that you just don't deserve. And if you're like, Dean, I can't help it, probably have PTSD. Let me ask you this. Sometimes does a situation happen where all of a sudden everybody's just the enemy? That one little question. If you answer yes to that, okay, and why is that? Well, we just put ourselves through years and years and years of trauma, not not even to mention the fact that our families, you know, they did the best that they could, but considering how society treated us then, is it really? I mean, Phil Donahue can suck a dick. Hold on, I gotta say bye to my wife. All right. Yeah, we don't leave the house without hugs and kisses. When we go to bed, there's a required 7 kisses before we go to sleep. So I think we're up to like 20 or something like that. We have an odd relationship, but it works very, very well for us. Oh, that's the other person I'm grateful for. I would not be here if it wasn't for Shannon. Oh, I'd be dead, guys. So she's standing here looking at me.
Did you call me odd?
No, I did not.
Okay.
She thought I called her odd. I just gave her a fucking compliment. And she's like, "Did you call me odd?" Go to work. Would you leave so I could compliment you? I love you too. I get in trouble a lot. All right. Okay. Yeah, let's talk on that, Chris. I need to trust God, even in the most confusing times. So, when should you utilize God? All done. Good, bad, indifferent. Making a decision. You don't need to ask him if you need to go to the bathroom. Okay. But if you're making decisions in your life, ask God for some direction. What the hell is wrong with that? Okay. It makes your life a lot easier because then I don't even have to plan my day half the time. God's got like, wow, you got service work all day. I'm sorry. All right. I was just in a meeting and a friend in there, she was talking about how she was very that she was sick. She has corona, so she couldn't go to Kansas to see her family. And she's the one that organizes everything usually. And she's like, I've been spending the last few weeks saying, because it's going to be her first Thanksgiving sober. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to do this. She set everything up. Obviously, she couldn't go. Right. And I loved what came out of her mouth. She said, usually I would be upset about this because I'm not getting what I want. But I don't think God wants me there right now. Absolutely correct. She is absolutely correct. Sometimes God will do something where it looks like it's bad, but it's not. It's just a matter of looking at it the way that it needs to be looked at. And that's where we become open-minded, right? Sometimes it seems like something bad has happened to us, but it was actually God saying, it's actually God giving you direction or saying, you're worth my time. Or I'm not done with you. So keep those in mind. Keep in mind that you're a fucking miracle and that you can help other people when other people can't. Sometimes you'll be able to help a normie when other people can't. So don't be afraid to help anybody that comes across your path. They don't have to be alcoholic. Think of it this way. They're affected by drugs and alcohol one way or another. Nobody's getting out of this one scot-free. Not with the opioid epidemic. Everybody knows somebody that's addicted to something, and they're emotionally attached. Every single person. So, all right, guys, that's going to be it for today's daily reflection. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the compliments. I appreciate them. it is nice to know that what I do helps. You know, yes, I do it for myself, but it's always nice to, see the dividends of what happens. Um, and I have the quietest following ever. I have like hundreds of people that follow me that say nothing ever. And that's okay. That's okay. Yeah, you can't help anybody that doesn't want my help. Yeah, that's true. It's true. I have a saying though. You lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. But you can sure shove his fucking head in there and make him wish he did. I will ruin whatever it is you're going through. I don't care. Even if you don't want my help. But Chris, what I'm talking about is the people that are asking you for help. You know what I mean? Like seeing a neighbor taking out the trash, going and helping. My brother-in-law comes to me a lot, because he knows that I dealt with an anger issue, and he watched me get through it. So I get to be the example so that he can do that too, and then that way he's the example for his kids. See, this all started with my dad being angry. All right, so we got to break that cycle. All right, guys, I love you. Peace out and have a day.